Hey folks, it's Tom at FrugalPrepper. I'm going to show you how to fix a leaking power steering pump on a 2008 2008 Chevy Malibu. Also 2008 through 2010 Pontiac G6s had this. I think 2008 through 2010 Saturn Auroras or whatever. I think some of the Impalas and stuff have this engine in it too. This is the newer style 3.5 that's built off the 3.9 with the variable valve timing, not the older style 3.5 like you used to find in the Rendezvous and stuff. That's an older engine, and it's a different engine. It's built off the 3.4, so a totally different power steering pump. So a real common thing is for these to leak. I'm going to show you how to fix that so you don't have to go to AutoZone and spend $200 on a new power steering pump. You can fix this for $7. So let me bring you along and show you how it's done. Alright folks, I decided to do this part of the video over again so I can show you how this is going to install on a pulley, and I have the pulley guide free so I can show you the little groove that's in it and all that. This is a pulley remover installer set. You can get it out at a Harbor Freight for like $24 or something. You can get it AutoZone for $40. Now, you don't have to buy this. So you can do a loan tool at O'Reilly's, Advance, AutoZone. You can do a free loan tool, which is where you pay them what the tool costs. So it'll be $40, and then but you can take it back and you can return it and get your $40 back after you use the tool. They keep some, ones that they loan out like that in stock, and they just loan them out. So I'd recommend that you do that if you're just doing this for one car. If you're like me and you fix lots of cars, you might want to buy one of these. So for the removal, we have this piece right here and this piece right here. Now you'll see that this one goes a little deeper and this one's a little shallower, right? The shallow ones, you typically want to face them down. Now, you'll put them on here and they won't go on. You have to pull it up till they slide in the groove, right? And so there is a little bit of a groove around there, if you can see it. There's a little groove right in there. So you want to put that in the groove, and you'll put this on, right? And then these bigger parts are going to go over that. Then this slides down to hold that in place, right? And then you just, for this power steering pump, you just use this and this piece. This comes with a little O-ring to hold it when it's new. It doesn't last, right? It falls right out. And it's going to keep falling out now because I don't have a power steering pump. But normally you put this down in there, then you put this in, and then this screws down and pushes against the shaft of the power steering pump and pulls that off. And then I will go back through this when it's time to do the installation and show you how that works, because this is an installer as well as a remover. So as you can see, that's quite hard. You're going to have to really work at it with some traditional tools. In fact, I would recommend that you probably take this plastic tank off, which we're going to do next, and then crimp it down really good in a vise if you're using some other tools. Or maybe take that off while it's still bolted in the car would be a good idea too. So these little black clips here, you have to slide off. And they're steel and they're metal and they have a little locking retaining piece in them. The way to get these off is to pry up on this with the screwdriver, right? Pry way up on it, get it under there. Oh, pry way up on it, get it under there, and slide this underneath of it. That'll hold the clip up. Now you just gotta take and put this like on the edge of the workbench here. Let me move you guys a little bit so you can see that, hopefully. But you just hang it over the edge like so. And then you just get you a hammer. I'm using a rubber hammer, but you can use any hammer. And you're gonna tap on this a few times. And that's gonna bring it loose. And then you can probably just pull it off. And then there's one here on the other side. This one looks a little dirtier. It's a little dirtier from the leaking power steering fluid. And so now we just push that up. Well, I hope we do. Let's try it this way. Yeah. And put that up there. That holds it up. Oh, that didn't hold it quite. Hang on. There we go. Now we can put that down here. Get the screwdriver and just tap her a few times. Once she comes loose like that, you can take the screwdriver out because the little clip's past the plastic lock piece. Yeah, we should be able to just hit it a few more times. Move it out to the edge a little more. There it goes. Now I'll take that clip off. Get this. And I need to put another pair of gloves on. I took a break and went in the house and I forgot to put gloves on. Let me do that. Alright, so now we've got both of those little metal clips out. We just have to wiggle this back and forth and it pulls up like this. Now, the reason you want to take this off is because there's an O-ring. It goes on here when you install it, but it usually ends up down in here. You just want to inspect this O-ring and make sure she's okay and good and pliable still. And this one is fine. But if not, you can go buy a pack of O-rings at Harbor Freight for a couple bucks, and then you can find the right size one and replace that while you're in here. That way the tank isn't leaking when it's coming down to the power steering pump. So now we've got our little tiny pump. This is it. And we have to take this seal out. Alright, so they make special seal pullers and stuff. I've never had one. What I want to do is I don't want to get up against this shaft and cause any scratches on that, because that can cause leaks. So I want to go towards the outside here, and I just want to hammer this in. Hammer the screwdriver down in there. That kind of moved. Didn't want it to move. And we're just going to hammer in and pry up. And eventually, she is going to come up out of there. And you can kind of move around too and just do multiple parts of it. And see how she's starting to bend? There you go. And now we'll pull that seal up out of there, like so. And we're set. So now we can just wipe this down, spray it off with a little brake clean, make sure she's good and clean. We want to make sure she's good and clean right there at the base where that seal is going to go. Just wipe her down. You don't really want to use anything abrasive like sandpaper to clean this, because you don't want it scratched up. You just need to get some brake clean. And keep going at it and just kind of keep turning it. Get it as clean as you can. It might not be perfect, but that's the best chance you have of getting it to seal up good and tight, is to have that really good and clean. Alright, so the seal you get on Amazon. Rock Auto has 3 different brands of seals for this, but by the time you pay the shipping, it costs more than the Amazon price. It arrives next day. For me, it might be more than that for some other people. This is the Edelman. It comes in this great big box. You take that out, and you have a little tiny seal right here. This is $7 and some change. Like I said, I'll put a link to it down below so you can buy one. Alright, so now we got our seal. I'm just going to open that up. Now, I'm going to take my seal first, and I'm going to put a little lubrication on here. This is just a little, this is a generic form of PB Blaster is what this is. It's made by Roll King. We'll put that on there. We'll lube it up all over. Get a lot on that rubber seal so that it slides down, and on the outside, because you want this to slide in right. Then you're just going to take and very carefully get it started. You don't want to push it down on there to where it reverses itself. You just want to carefully wiggle it around, get it started. Slowly slide her down. Right there. Alright, now the perfect thing that fits this is a 23mm socket. If you don't have a 23mm socket, buy one, or find something that you have that's flat, level, that will go over here and hit this. I mean, you could probably use a 22 or a 21, but 23 seems like the perfect size. And then we're just going to take and hammer this down nice and tap it. We're going to tap it on this side mostly. Here we want to tap this down more. And just tap her in there. And we'll have to get a bigger, stronger hammer here. And tap her in there. Oh, something fell. And make sure she's in there good all the way around, and she is. And there you go, seals replaced. Alright, so now we're going to go over how to use this pulley remover kit to reinstall the pulley. Make sure that your groove for your removal is facing the outside of the pump. You don't want to put it on backwards, right? Because I don't know how you get it off of there if you put it on backwards. This middle sized one is probably about right for this size pulley. And you take that and you screw that on there, right? Then you take your thrust washer and you lay that on top of the pulley. And then you put your thrust bearing, or your bearing, right here. Then you take this and you screw this nut down on here. Nice and pretty far. And then you screw this in till it bottoms out. And now you put that on. And you will hold the top with the socket wrench, like so. And then you'll use a wrench to turn this. So we're going to have and put this in the vise and do it in the vise since that's easier. And I will be right back. Alright, so now we're just going to put our socket wrench on top there. And then we're going to grab this bolt down here and we're going to turn it with the crescent wrench. Get that as tight as we can. Okay. if I could just stop that from turning. Oh yeah, she's all the way down on there now. Okay. Now we'll just pull her back off. Like so. And there you go. You have reinstalled your pulley. Get her out of there. Yep, she's all reinstalled. All good. Alright, so as far as putting your power steering reservoir, I went ahead and sprayed this all down with some brake clean pretty good. But we'll just spray it down again to make sure. We just want to get as much of that old fluid off as I can. You don't really have to do that, but you know. Might as well make it clean. I sprayed this down with a little brake clean too, cleaned it off. So you have your rubber O-ring right here. You want to make sure that is lubed up with a little power steering fluid. Make sure it slides down in there well, right? And then you're just going to take that. Here's your hole, right? And so you're going to take that and just slide this down on here and give her the wiggles. And then she goes in. Now, you just want to take your clips and put them on. There's a wide side of this clip and a narrow side. The wide side's going to go on first. So, you're going to get her lined up here. Oh, that's the wrong clip. The clips are different. So you want, I think, this clip. So that this little part here goes under this metal part, and the little shorter part here goes around the plastic, and the deeper part goes there. You put that on, and we just hit her with the rubber hammer, or you can tap her on there with the screwdriver if you want. But now we just put this one on, and we just tap it on with the rubber hammer. And I'm just going to give it a little oomph with the flat tip screwdriver to make sure they went all the way down. And check them and make sure that's clip's locked in. And this clip is locked in. And there you go. You have one non-leaking power steering pump to reinstall on the vehicle. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. It's time for Frugal Prepper. Be happy fixing your cars for cheap.